Just do this, Miss Kira.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to talk on a tilt. Anyway,
Okay.
good morning, everybody.
Wait.
No, it's not going to
No,
work.
it looks like I got bit by something.
You did get bit. Vampires hit Burlington, Wisconsin last night. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live from southeast Wisconsin, where vampires really exist, but only in Burlington.
Yes.
Anyway, sitting on my left, I have the beautiful Miss Kira Peterson.
And to my right, Randy Weckerly.
And that is the beautiful Randy Weckerly.
And guess where we're heading up?
We're heading
north.
North and east.
North? Well, we're kind of, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's up
it
north.
It is north,
it's
definitely north.
It's north of Milwaukee.
Yep. We're going to go to Blind Horse Restaurant and Winery, and I was able to say restaurant that time.
In Kohler, Wisconsin.
And to one of the most beautiful places and destinations that we've had on air just recently. And I'm going to tell you,
awesome.
Hey, there we go.
We're going to get you
We're getting close. Hold on just for a minute here, Tom. It's getting close, and it's really good. If my phone works, young Miss Kira with the beautiful touch that she has, she's going to be trying to bring us in. But anyway, one of the most beautiful websites, if you go to... coming in here, Tom, we're getting close. It's really exciting. If you go to theblindhorse.com, that's their website. One of the most dynamic websites that we have seen in a long time. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's exciting. It would take you, just pull up a cup of coffee and read it. They have a lot going on. They have a beautiful restaurant, a beautiful winery, a lot of great events, live music, and just a ton. There he is.
Hey, guys.
Live and in living color. That's spectacular. Thanks for bearing with us. It's great.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, good. We haven't started drinking yet in the winery, but we're getting closer.
Well, just as John Cheek said down in Orlando, you want to tell him what John Cheek said in Orlando?
No, you tell him. You're better at remembering.
One of the funniest interviews we ever had. Classic guy in Orlando doing one of his breweries. He pulls up and he's doing one of these. And he pulls this big, little, beautiful flask of beer in his hand. And I say, it's a little early in the morning. And he said, no. You can't drink all day unless you start early in the morning. So, it's just all the perspective. So, anyway, what a beautiful website you have. Congratulations on what you're doing up there. And can't wait to hear.
We started about 6 years ago, the restaurant, and the winery opened 4 years ago. And it's just been an amazing run for 6 years here. We are exploding in growth, and it's a fun time right now. It really is.
Yeah. How did you do it in that sequence? A lot of people go into, they do their wine and then they go into a restaurant. How did you do it the other way? How did you go into? Did you have a restaurant background, or what was the deal with that?
Sure. So, the owners are the Moeller family, Bob, Connie, Matt, and Heidi. They're the owners of this property. I'm the general manager and winemaker. My name is Tom Nye, and that's the Moeller family. They had a dream to open up a small winery, and somebody convinced them to do a restaurant first. So when they bought the property, they did a restaurant. It was, I don't know if they knew what they were getting into, and it was definitely a challenge to open up a restaurant in this area. And I think that's actually been the biggest struggle for the property was getting that right. And when they brought me on board, which was year 2, after the restaurant had been open for 2 years, the winery was just being constructed. I had a winery out east that I sold to come help launch this and bring my wife back home. She's from this area. So it was kind of a neat way to do it. So we launched the winery, and it's just been great. It took us, like I said, a few years to get our hands around the restaurant. I had never run a restaurant either. So it was definitely, I think, in my mind, I knew how to run a winery already, but I certainly, I don't know if I could have anticipated the challenges of getting a restaurant right. And I think the Moellers feel the same exact way. And it's just been great for all of us. Now the restaurant is exploding. We couldn't ask to be in a better position. We have a great young chef, executive chef Brent Davis, who is gaining a huge reputation. People are coming from all over the state to see him. And, that's really the key, is having the right people in the right positions. And once we stabilized the back of the house and the front of the house and the restaurant exploded. And the winery's done what we hoped it would do.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's a big, anytime you get into the service and food service business, nothing tougher. But once you get in it, it's really rewarding. And you're in an area, for us, our Links and Libations magazine, our saying is, golfers golf, then they sip. And we've heard there's a little golf course up there, too, in that area.
Just a couple. Just a couple, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that
We get a lot of
Wisconsin's the number?
golfers in.
Yeah, the true fact, Golf Advisor magazine a year ago, Wisconsin is the #1 golf destination in the world right now.
I believe
And
it.
yeah,
It's such a beautiful area too. I have a lot of friends that travel from California and New Jersey to come visit me out here. They couldn't understand why I moved to Wisconsin. When they
yeah,
get here, they love it. Nobody
yeah,
knows really how beautiful this area is, right on the lake. All the great things that you can do, especially in Sheboygan County, but the whole state. There's just so much to do here uh,
yeah.
that they keep coming back over and over again. So yeah, I think it's not a surprise to me that it's the #1 destination. The stunning golf courses and everything that you can do here right on the lake, and with all the little lakes, it's pretty neat.
Well, you're going to have to start preparing because in 2020, that little event that's going to be played in a couple of weeks in France is coming to your backyard at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
does get
we're
a
ready.
little, yeah.
We're
You
all
better start start polishing the glassware now, because
Exactly.
that is our background is in the world of golf. We did it that way. I've been in the world of golf for about 35, 40 years, and I know I don't look that old, but Miss Kira is about 75, so anyway, we have a lot of fun. So anyway, let's dig into this.
I have a
Go ahead.
question,
Sure,
Tom.
go
What
ahead.
kind of food is what you're most recognized at your restaurant?
So
Or
the
what
restaurant.
style?
So just to kind of give a breakdown of how the property works, we actually almost have 2 restaurants on the property. So we have our, it's not fine dining, but it's sit-down service, and in there, our scallops, our bacon wrapped scallops are absolutely the most popular dish.
Yum.
But we have these bruschetta boards, these gourmet bruschetta boards that people are crazy for. So, you could do that. You can even get a gourmet burger, and you can, of course, get your filet mignon and all of your fish specials. And it's a really interesting Napa style influenced menu that I think is the reason why it's becoming so.
Oh, don't want to lose them.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
that's all
okay.
right. That's all right.
So we also have kind of this second restaurant, and that's where we have a lot more casual food, pizzas, tacos, and we have live music. So it's almost like a second little restaurant on the property. And actually tomorrow we launch our newest venture, which is we're calling it a Scotch and whiskey experience. And it's a new building that we're opening that's going to have a gourmet ice matched with different drinks, and really, really unique and different space that you can have private parties in. But every Wednesday and Thursday it'll be open for our whiskey and bourbon bar. So that's something that we're launching tomorrow.
Wow, that's exciting.
That is awesome. I love that idea.
Are you getting into distilling, or
We are
is it
not
just
going to distill. No, we're not going to distill. It's something that we did look at actually early on, and we just chose at the time to concentrate on our growth. This property has been in massive growth mode, and just stabilizing that. And I think it was the right decision, because we are where we are now because we have the right people in place, and now we're able to grow appropriately and manage it. So it's been pretty exciting around here. There's always a new project. There's always something happening.
Yeah. So one of the things we talked about just briefly, you have a pretty cool event coming up, and does this get your feet purple? How does this work? I mean, is there a?
It does. So
Okay,
we have our annual harvest festival. We've done this every year. Last year it really exploded. We had thousands of people come for this. And yeah, we allow it open to the public. If you get there in time to sign up, you can actually join our grape stomping contest. We'll do about 3 or 4 of them over an hour period, and it's pretty neat. People love it, and we'll have live music, of course, and just a big party. And it's a great way to come check out the property and eat and drink and have some fun doing it. But yeah, it's a very popular event, and that is Saturday, the 22nd of September.
Is it just one day?
It is. It is.
Okay.
We're heading into our crushing season, so this is kind of our last big event before we start really focusing on making wine. And the weather turns as well, so the patio kind of closes down after that, and
Sure.
We concentrate on making wine.
Yeah, as we tell our Florida friends that we're doing interviews for, here in 2 weeks it can go very white very quick, and it ain't sand. So it's you know, but you're right about Wisconsin. It's such a beautiful state. It's so diverse. The last year the U.S. Open was played in Erin Hills, and I was talking to some people that came just for the practice rounds. I mean, these are things that all the way from Australia, you know, and they look at the courses. Of course, they look at the courses that where the Ryder Cup's going to be along the shoreline there. I looked at Erin Hills, and I said, "This is really cool. These courses are great. You see on TV, nothing like 98% of the courses in Wisconsin, you know, because the parkland courses are beautiful all through the state of Wisconsin. So it's a great diverse. But what a location you guys have. Tell us about your wine. Are you in local distribution or national, or how is your distribution going with your winery?
Sure. So, you know, we ship in all of our grapes. You know, a lot of people describe us as a you know, you've heard of micro distilleries, right? So
Sure.
Yes.
We're kind of like a micro winery in many ways. So we source the best grapes that we can from anywhere where it makes the type of wines that we want to make. So we wanted to concentrate on making drier style wines like you'd find out in California. So 95% of our grapes are shipped in actually and made right on our facility. So we get, I'd say, oh gosh, we'll get 25,000 pound loads of grapes on a shipment, and we'll process everything right there in the winery. So if everything's made right here in Kohler, but we ship in the grapes because, you know, let's face it, you can't grow Cabernet grapes or Merlot grapes in Wisconsin. Those type of grapes just don't grow here. Now we do make some wines from Wisconsin grapes, like we're making an ice wine that just won a double gold out of the Finger Lakes, which we were really proud of, and that was made from grapes in Plymouth. And we also are experimenting with sparkling wine. Those are two different types of wines that we believe we can make locally, and that is what we're going to focus our resources on. But everything else that we do, it's a drier style, and it was a big risk when we opened because out of the 105 wineries in the state of Wisconsin, you know, 104 of them concentrated on making sweet wines. So we didn't know if it would work to make the kind of wines we love. And it is just absolutely exploded. And in fact, you will see all the wineries changing. They're all starting to go drier. You're now going to see, because of the success I think we've had, I think people have been kind of stunned by the success that this has had. And I think there's just a change in taste that's happening within the states, and it's going towards drier.
Yeah. Well, we certainly have that with the people that I drink with, and and her drinking buddy and mother and everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
And we do like that dry wine.
Yeah. So we can attest that. But can you imagine that 105 wineries in the state of Wisconsin?
That blows my mind.
Yeah, it's
Isn't that
crazy.
amazing?
And it's true. They all really do sweet wine.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
and there's
is.
nothing wrong with that. They're very successful doing it. We're not saying that, you know, there's anything wrong with that. What we're just saying is we wanted to make the kind of wines we love. Obviously, you always want to do what you love, and this is the type of wines that we love. And we do make sweet wines, by the way, and they're very popular. But I think we've won awards on those. But I believe we've almost won an award on every dry wine we've ever produced here. So that's pretty neat.
Wow.
And our wine club, which I think is a really good sign, you know, our wine club is already 1,000 members almost after just 4 years, which is ridiculous. It's really been a great show of support for the local area.
So what entails with the wine club? I'm just curious.
So it's 3 shipments a year, and they get all these discounts on wine. They get discounts to all of our events. We do special events just for them. Like, for instance, I did an event for our wine club where I invited, you know, people had to sign up to come in, but they could come in and actually help design the next Tuscan blend that we do. Ooh. So we actually did a blending party with them and let them taste with us and show them the process that we go through when we're making a wine. And they actually helped us develop the blend, the final blend, before we bottled it. So I thought that was a really neat thing that we do just for wine club members. So there's always something that we kind of try to do just specifically for them. And it's like I said, I mean, 1,000 in 4 years is unheard of in the wine industry. So it's obviously working, and people are pretty happy with it.
I was gonna say I might have to join that club.
Well, here's the other thing. I was reading your website, and you have this barrel ownership program. Is that taken off? I mean, that is really, it's a unique. You know. Let me just go over the topics. you meet the winemaker, you crush your grapes, you bottle your wine, and you get to have a lot of input in what you're going to have drinking, basically. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
How's that work? That is really cool.
It is cool. And in my winery that I had in New Jersey, we really did that exclusively because of the laws. We couldn't sell wine, but we could sell barrels of wine. So I'm familiar with this program a lot because it's what my last winery was. We brought it here, and we really haven't pushed it a lot, but we are certainly doing it. It's not something that we're advertising tremendously. We're so busy as a property in managing the growth that we're focusing on just trying to produce enough wine, which is our biggest problem right now. Is actually supplying our own operation with enough wine. We are distributing. You did ask about that a little bit earlier, and we are distributing in Wisconsin. To distribute nationally is a whole different ballgame and very difficult to do. And I don't know if I would do that unless what I'd like to do with that is I'd like to do that with Wisconsin-based grapes. So if the sparkling wine and the ice wine continues to grow, that's what I would focus for national distribution, because it would highlight Wisconsin. But for our distribution within the states, we are just ramping that up. Again, I really can't even make enough to get into distribution for everywhere we'd like to be. But we are making relationships with restaurants and continue to expand out throughout the state.
Yeah, I'll give you a name of a club here in Wisconsin off air. But Kira and I had lunch with a very knowledgeable individual in the world of wine, and I think he'd appreciate what you're doing, because I'd love to have us in our Links Libations magazine. We look for great articles to come and feature, and I think we'd like to come there live and in person to sit and have a full day and really get into it, because 15 minutes on a split screen doesn't do justice with what I'm seeing here. So it's really great.
We'd love to have you. We would absolutely love to have you. And it is such a unique property, even in the heart of wine country in this country, Napa and Sonoma, right? You do not find restaurants on the same property as wineries because of the laws and the difficulties of that. This is a unique property for Sheboygan County. It is a unique property for Wisconsin. And I think the word is out for sure. People are starting to really just, come on word of mouth. And it is a unique property. And it's hard to understand all the different things that we do here between the events, these big festivals that we throw, like the Harvest one coming up. And the other one that's become crazy popular that you're now starting to see even pop up in other locations is our gourmet food truck festival, where we have 30 trucks from around the state come to our property. And that has been huge. And we get thousands of people that come to that as well. And it's just been I think people appreciate the uniqueness of this property and what we're trying to accomplish, which is, fun, food, and wine. And it's those three things together that we can uniquely present to people.
Yeah, well, Tom, it's really been great visiting with you. Everybody here, go to theblindhorse.com, pull up a nice glass of wine to sit down and go through their website, put the dates on your calendar. We'll talk with you as we get off air here. Kira will be sending out a note here in just a minute with how you can put this on your own Facebook page. We ask you that you do, because it helps us get your story out. And through the state of Wisconsin, of course, we want to support as we go forward. You got that little event coming up in 2020, that we are part of. And it's going to be great getting to know you and come up there. Miss Carrie, aren't you excited about that?
I am very excited. I want to be a part of that wine club. I'm dead serious. I'm going to do it.
I want you to see you ankle deep in grapes.
I would.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. September 20th, right, Tom?
It's the 22nd. It's a Saturday
22nd
of September. That's the Harvest Festival. And then our granary, which is our whiskey and bourbon experience, that opens up tomorrow. So that's every Wednesday and Thursday. So,
wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Too much stuff going on, too little time. Anyway, Tom, thanks very much. And we absolutely are going to keep you on our calendar. We got to come on. That's a week from Saturday.
Yeah.
Week from Saturday.
We should do it.
Got to do it.
Come on
All right.
out. Come
we
on
will.
out.
We'll see you. I want to see your ankle deep in purple.
All right.
I got to see that.
Do that.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Tom. We'll talk to
Thank
you
Have
soon.
a good one, Tom.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Blindhorse.com. Great place, Tom. Have a good day. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.